Welcome to Star Trek The Progenitor episodes. These are the episodes that started it all. This is back before producer Jesse joined us, when Andrew, Kevin, and I used to just talk Trek in the privacy of a little old paywall where we would not fact check, we would not have any structure, and we didn't think any of you would ever hear this. Joke's on us, or you, who knows? I love these episodes. It's what cemented Andrew's love of the bonkersness of Trek. And we cover some of the best episodes and some of my favorite episodes of Trek, like this one, Time Zero Part 1 from TNG. This really delighted Andrew, but also broke him. I think the Mark Twain of it all, the Guinan of it all, I think it upended so many expectations and understandings that he'd previously had about Trek. And for that reason, I cherish it, and I hope you all will too. Enjoy. I don't know where to start. I don't know where to start. I don't know where to start Trek. I don't know where to start Trek. Start Trek.
I actually watched the like opening titles for the first time in a minute. I mean, it's such a horrible part of the streaming age, but I just click skip on the opening titles. But this was good.
I feel it. Yeah. No, these are good opening titles.
Not that they're not good. I knew they were good, but I usually skip
No. We have to address one thing because people might be confused, but maybe they're not since they read the title. We told them in our Quark Stop that we were doing another episode, but we're switching it up. We're always keeping you guessing. Never let them know your next move.
Well, also, I mean, if you're on the Quark Stop, you're fucked on Tula Berry wine. It doesn't matter what we say in there. That shit isn't real.
You just been snorting yammock sauce and trading self-sealing stem bolts, and you are high on space cocaine. So
I don't remember who someone commented it's space snuff, which is what it is named in the episode, and that's fair. But the way he behaves is space cocaine.
Yeah, it's space cocaine. Sure, we're calling it space snuff. That's, big wink. Andrew did a big wink, everybody.
Like, come on.
Come on. I know, I saw that comment too, and I was like, oh, this person needs to maybe listen to our episode. All the comments on our wonderful videos made to us by our friend Zach Turner, half of them I think, oh, you guys should listen to the episode.
Yeah.
And your comment or question would be answered.
That's kind of just what I think promoting a podcast on Instagram is about.
Yeah.
But we're ahead of you.
It's weird because we've been podcasting for literally a decade and with very little promoting.
Yeah.
And this is the first one
that we're just not used to that shit. It's just I guess that's what happens.
Oh, is that how it works? People talk back to little clips you post and take out of context? Huh.
Fair enough.
Weird. This is a little off topic. We'll get to the episode in 1 second. I taught a little workshop at a very fancy school, and it was so much fun. And I think the folks responsible for bringing me down there are Trekkies and are listeners of this, or at least one of them is. So shout out to them for bringing me down to San Diego. But one of the students, they were like, at the end of one of our workshop days, we were kind of treading water a bit, and they were just sort of asking me questions about the biz. And one of the high school students just said, have you ever done any like podcast stuff?
Yeah, hell yeah.
That's what I should have said. It's just a quiet, yeah, hell yeah. But instead I just went, oh, too much.
That's right too.
I didn't know how to answer. It's like someone said, hey, do you put on socks ever? And I just wanted to be like, where do I even begin? I'm putting on socks you've never heard of.
Types of
into
socks.
Shoes you can't even fathom.
Socks you have to pay extra money for. Thank you for subscribing.
These are subscription socks. Oh, boy. But anyway, thank you to all our lovely listeners to this. We love doing it. And we're very excited today to talk to you about Time's Arrow.
Yeah.
This is part 1. This is The Next Generation, Season 5, Episode 26. it first aired. Oh, Kevin's not here. He's not just being pouty in the corner.
Oh yeah,
what if
no
he
Kevin.
was?
What if Kevin was on? There was one episode where Kevin was here, but he had like new dad duties. I feel like, if I recall.
Sometimes I feel like Kevin just likes to be here for vibes. When a lot of times I'm like, we love having you, but you are so busy.
Yeah,
you definitely don't have to do this.
You're allowed to just fucking do whatever, bro.
Just go be a dad. Okay, so Time Zero Part 1 first aired 15th of June, 1992. And
okay, I have a comment. No, you go ahead.
Okay. Is it about Terminator 2?
No, it is about... This is the first time I'm going to ask a question, but I just looked up the answer to it, which is that the thing that I'm wondering if they got it from actually did occur before this. And basically every time, a running bit on Star Trek has been a Star Trek will either reference, the episode will reference something in the whether it's in the title or in the themes or whatever, and I'll be like, oh, was this inspired by? And it never was.
Right, because Star Trek did it first, usually.
Yes, Star Trek did it first. And Star Trek also, and this is not related, but there was a Martin Amis book called Time's Arrow that came out in 91. And I only thought of that because I was talking about a different Martin Amis book this morning. Also, I think there's a chance, I didn't look it up, I'm not gonna, Martin Amis might be one of those like canceled author guys from the 90s, 80s, 90s.
Sure.
So if he's a dick, I apologize. But otherwise, I did read a lot of Martin Amis when I was a kid.
Did you look up if this was inspired by Martin Amis book?
I can't imagine it was, because they're not really very related except for the name. But they are right near each other. I'm not going to be able to find it, I don't think.
I would look into that for you, but...
that's not what we're about.
That's not what we're here for. I don't see it on first kind of like scroll through the usual places where the trivia is. There's mainly just a lot of, Joe Menosky, who wrote the episode, was obsessed with Mark Twain. Loved Twain.
Yeah. I will say this. So you texted, this is a two-parter, and you were like, oh, we could probably just blow through the part one. Nothing really happens in it.
That is not what I said. I said, because we have a little time crunch, or we did, but then we moved stuff. It's fine. And I said, you know what? We just got to be speedy. But actually, time one, I kind of forgot not a lot of plot happens.
Yes, fine.
Which is true. But you also know that's how I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, there's not a lot of like story, but there's plenty to talk about because... I'm going to throw this out there. I'm guessing it's because this episode is like probably among the better regarded of the Star Trek episodes. But I think this would nestle happily in our bonkers episodes because this shit is crazy.
Really? It's a little crazy, but it's so... Okay, wait, we'll get to it. But,
it's not as goofy in tone, and maybe that's why. Like, it's not a goofy tone, but it is one of those things that's like... Well, one is sort of just like... My girlfriend has been in the other room while I've been watching these episodes. And whenever I am just like, when you say like the top line, like even like the people, just like the one sentence versions of what is happening in this episode. My girlfriend's also like a Shakespeare professor. So like, she'll be like, is fucking Midsummer's Night's Dream. Like shit will just happen. And if you were just to list them out, like if you were to look at the whiteboard for this episode, it is fully insane.
Andrew, you simply are, you have not seen enough Trek is all I'll say. Because you keep saying, this should be in the bonkers episodes. And I'm like, this is just run-of-the-mill TNG, baby. This is like... Beverly having sex with a Scottish candle ghost is the craziest it gets, but like... A lot of the other shit ain't far off. We haven't even gotten to masks. Fucking Manuki. Right. So I'm just saying, this is pretty bog standard crazy pants Trek.
Wacky, but it is like...
I don't disagree with you. I'm just saying that's Trek.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm just saying TNG. This shit is pretty crazy, though. Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
Teleplay by Joe Menosky, Michael Piller, directed by Les Landau. Part 1.
Also... We should say this. Part 1, this is a 2-part episode. This ends on what I would call like a pretty decent like cliffhanger. A lot is and this is a season finale episode.
I did forget that. Yeah.
I had to double check my fucking like Paramount Plus because I had just assumed like everything associated with Paramount these days that the data was shoddy, and so
what do you mean?
I was just like, oh, surely they just like forgot part 2 or like there was like a categorization error or something,
mislabeled,
yeah, or something. And so the fact that part 2 is the season premiere of season 6 blows my mind. This is such an insane place to leave a TV season.
Bananas. Yeah.
So it's crazy. It's crazy. Yep. I love this. I'm loving this episode. I'm loving this 2-party. I really enjoyed this. It was crazy.
Well, let's jump into it.
All right. This is what Andrew thinks happened. So we're in the cold open. The Enterprise has been recalled to Earth. There's evidence that they basically found in a fucking mine shaft in San Francisco. And of course, for narrative structure, you have to bury the lead on this a little bit. But the way the actual human being that's showing Picard and Data around buries the lead is truly, like, if you did this in real life, I know Starfleet doesn't fire people or throw people in jail, but this is as close to Starfleet needs to really have a talk with this person because he's like, oh, this cave has a bunch of like waves that can only be created by extraterrestrials, and they're like sort of deadly to humans and they don't occur on Earth, and there's a pair of bifocals and a pistol. And Picard, I think it's Picard, I didn't write this down, but basically it's like, why would you call the Enterprise back to Earth for this? And I'm so sorry. The scientist who's in charge is like, oh, there's one more thing. And the reveal is it's motherfucking Data's head.
Incredible teaser out.
It's so funny. But like, if you were doing this for real, the only reason to do this is to create drama. If you're an actual scientist or an actual like person with business to handle, you kind of got to lead with, hey, your head's down here.
Yeah. Hey, we need you to see your head.
Yeah, the head part, you got to lead with the head, but they don't. We're in Act 1. The Data's head model is amazing. I love how they crafted it. So he's like, it's like it feels like they asked Brent Spiner to be surprised while they were casting it. Cause it's like a kind of like frozen expression. But it's on like a little, and it's also very ambitious because the model is, they have Data interact with it a ton. And it's kind of only barely at the edge of it. It was the 90s. It was like,
yeah, for like, TV budget, pretty good.
They were on the TV budget. They weren't doing like, like laser cut silicone molds or whatever, the computer guide or whatever. It looks pretty good, but it is like so ambitious to basically the second time you see it, it's Brent Spiner is examining it. So you see the two faces right next to each other. Data's examining it, Riker and then Picard come up and they're kind of surprised at how chill he is.
Yeah, this is I love this subtle moment because by this point in season 5, we've tracked a lot of Data's emotional journey and his like journey to experience more emotion.
Yeah.
And so this is just a little tiny moment where Riker's like, how can you look at your severed head and not feel something? And it's just a nice little moment because it's not a whole examination. We don't have time for a whole Data in his feelings, but not quite fully in his feelings yet moment. But it is just a little check-in of like, this would rattle someone. It's not rattling you. Got it. Okay.
Yeah. It's also like kind of like, I kind of forgot. I knew, but I kind of had forgotten that like one of Data's big arcs is sort of just like if Pinocchio had like 5,000 sequels and it's like really got into the philosophy of it. Cause like it does get addressed later, but like it is. I do remember that being an arc through TNG, but I just kind of like wasn't really thinking. I think partially it's because like when you see them in syndication, you just kind of get used to Data's like pretty much human and he's very wacky. He's just like a weird guy. So you kind of like I kind of forgot about that. Anyway, they eliminate the idea that it could be Data's twin brother, which I'd completely forgotten about. He has an evil twin. Is that right?
Yeah. Lore. And again, a really artful way to just be like, oh, we didn't drop that thread. This isn't that guy, right? Nope. Okay, great. Now we can move on and we don't have to talk about him again.
But also a very fun episode would be we found your twin brother's head in a cave 500 years ago.
I mean, there's a lot of lore. There's a lot of lore about lore that we could get into, but we don't have time.
Lore. Anyway, Data's being really chill about this. Geordi comes in. He's figured out a few things about the alien. It's a species that deals with, oh God, my autocorrect hated this. It says triadic waves, but that's not right, but whatever. Something waves, some kind of waves.
Triolic?
Triolic waves, yes. So they might be shapeshifters. There's a microscopic fossil, which only exists on a planet called Davidia 2. So they head there. Everyone is worried about Data. Picard's super worried. And Data just is being too chill about this. We cut to the next scene at 10 forward. I know the name of the bar. I know they say it, but I did know it before that. Geordi and Data are at the bar. I will say I kind of didn't remember, and I get obviously it's just like fine that he's at the bar, but it is funny to just imagine that he's at the robot is at the bar for sort of socialization purposes. He's just there because it's normal, but he's also sitting in a very Data fashion. So it's just sort of like,
I love seeing him in places he shouldn't. Like, he don't eat, he don't drink.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to blow off steam, but he's going to sit at the bar with his friend.
He's at the bar. The only weird one, and it doesn't exist because I don't think I have ever seen like a bathroom in Star Trek, but
they're not until Picard season 2.
Having him exit like a bathroom stall that he's just in, just so he could be normal sometimes, would be very funny. Anyway, let's see. So Geordi and Data are at the bar, and Geordi basically is like, "Do you want to talk about it? I want to talk about it." And Data kind of has his moment, which is the sort of, again, like Pinocchio 5000 version, which is just like, hey, it's actually kind of nice to know that I'm mortal, like I might die. Which, though, I guess spoiler alert, because as people probably have surmised, Data doesn't die permanently in this or the next episode. He remains a character throughout. So it's weird because they do kind of have this nice philosophy thing, but ultimately the episode kind of undercuts it because he does not die. He doesn't even come close, really.
I like that he has this moment that is kind of the echo back to the Riker thing. That's like, hey, are you okay with this? And it does show a little emotional growth of him being like, I can experience comfort.
Yes.
Like him saying, oh, I'm comforted by this is definitely a newish thing for him by season 5.
Yeah. They get paged to go to the bridge, which does kind of make me wonder, like, there's basically, and I know that technically the Enterprise is not a military vessel. However, it is an enormous starship that has weapons where everyone like refers to each other by Navy ranks. And which is all to say, I don't think you should be allowed to, like, I know that sometimes that shit you need to get called to the bridge, but you shouldn't be allowed to go from the bar to work if your work includes phasers.
That's why they're drinking synthahol. So this has been addressed
really?
In the original. Yeah. So they developed synthahol for precisely this reason. So the idea is that by the next generation, and some could say we retconned all of the original series to say they were drinking synthahol, but I don't really buy that. I think this is something, my headcanon is that this is something they developed by the 23rd. By the 2380s. So synthahol allows you to immediately be sober the second you want to be, and you have no residual effects of alcohol. That's why you can go straight from the bar to shooting guns.
Okay, fair enough.
Isn't that fun?
That is crazy. I'm glad they had that covered. I'll just say my joke was, it's hard to think of another job where you can go from the bar to command of a large ship with weapons, except, of course, Secretary of Defense under President Trump. Got him. Political.
Got him.
Right.
They need some synthahol in the White House. You know what I mean?
So Guinan comes in after Data leaves. Geordi kind of fills in Guinan on what's going on. I'm realizing I don't think I have remembered a single. This would be my first like Guinan story. I think.
Have you seen her at all in Trek, do you think?
I have seen
just, like, knowing she's in it?
That's what I mean, is like, because I know Whoopi Goldberg was like largely like a frequently recurring, but like a guest star, right? Like, so
she's still recurring, but yeah, just more heavily by this point.
Yeah, okay. Because to me, and this is like, again, I guess somewhat maybe speaks to a trope, but I know that, like, Star Trek is better than this, but mostly I remember Guinan as sort of like just, leaning in, sniping a little bit of like plot, or like a little bit of like convenience and wisdom, and then I just don't remember a Guinan story that I know of.
There are Guinan stories.
Yes, I'm sure there are, but that's what I'm saying.
So maybe you just haven't seen any.
Yeah, like in my head,
there's some good stuff with Q.
That you will like. Maybe remember that. I like Q.
You like the weirdness of Q.
I'm wondering if maybe Corkstop gets adjusted to just be a bartender's pack.
Ooh, we call it the watering hole eps, and it's just all Guinan and Quark centered episodes. I'm very on board with that. Does that mean we also have to do Neelix ones?
Yes.
Okay.
I love
no shade to Neelix.
The idea of Neelix. Is there a bartender? There must be some sort of booze on, but on Enterprise, it's just got to be like real world whiskey. There's just like
they're just drinking actual whiskey out of their flask in their quarters.
Yeah, like a there's an episode where like a Maker's Mark rep gets beamed aboard, and like
there's just the St. Pauli girl shows up.
Oh, it's a planet of Captain Morgan. Oh, what's happening here?
What do we do?
Because the Enterprise did happen during, obviously for the world reasons, they would never do this, but that was the prime era of like branded integrations.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I want to see a brand deal pop up.
Yeah, I would just love to see just everyone in the canteen drinking Guinness, and they talk about it exactly 4 times in the episode. Okay, where are we? Anyway, which is all to say, this winds up being the most Guinan story I personally have ever seen, I think.
Sure.
So, but yes, but to my knowledge at this point, Guinan just came in and was Guinan being Guinan, which is like being a little cryptic. Is Guinan psychic or just a time traveler, or
Guinan experiences time in a non-linear way? She's not a Q, she's an Elorian, and not a ton is known about their species, but she is like a non-linear, very old being.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, and which sort of makes sense. That's sort of what Guinan is always doing. She just drops in and it's like, you won't like 17 minutes from now, and then just leaves. And then you're like, wait, what? And it's like, okay.
And it's because she experienced that 17 minutes 200 years in the future.
Yeah.
But it's your past or something, and you're like, wait, what?
It's always something. Yeah, okay. That's my impression of Guinan, which is just like, but which also sort of fits for like a very famous person who's a guest star. They get to do a cool thing, but like they can't like impact the like story or the character arc, like relationships.
In '92, she was busy. She was doing actual movies, and she was just a friend of LeVar Burton and loved Trek and wanted to come play,
which makes sense. So that's why that was my perception of this. But and it makes sense to have her in this episode these episodes, which now that we know they span 2 seasons, different contracts. What a mess for. Wow, just a lot happening here. All right, we go
Welcome to Biz Affairs Corner.
We go to Troy and Riker, who are walking and talking about how traumatic all this has been. I do like, at this point, are Troy and Riker romantically involved?
It's interesting. No, yes, they're kind of like forever bonded and linked, but they're not in an official relationship right now. But they're very intimate.
Because she still is, and this is just like sort of perpetual, like obviously she's a character who has relationships and not just like romantic relationships, but relationships with all people. This was touched on briefly in the Crusher Fucks a Ghost episode, which is that like her role as the like ship psychologist is just weird a lot of times, when she also has to have like interpersonal relationships with people, which is all to say this scene has a lot of vibes of a woman trying to get her work boyfriend to go to therapy. And it's like, and it's just like because of the nature of everyone's relationship, but it's a lot like, it just feels like we should all talk to someone about this. This is very traumatic. And Riker's like, nah.
Very funny. That's a very funny take, especially when it's like, girl tries to get her work boyfriend to go to therapy, and he's like, isn't that what we're doing right now?
Yeah.
Aren't you the therapy?
Technically kind of it is, but it's not, because they're in a fucking hallway too.
We're in a hallway, we're in a relationship. There's a lot of reasons I can't be your therapist right now, Riker.
Yeah. It's just like that very weird dynamic, but it's just like too many things piled on. She also does an impression of Data, which is very funny.
It's very cute.
And of course, in like classic sitcom fashion, they're just dawdling by the turbo lift and the door opens and Data's there.
Love it. And then he immediately does one of my favorite Data moments that is in Data speak, which is so formal and stilted, but he basically just says like, hey, so were y'all talking shit? Because it seems like everyone on this ship is talking shit.
Yeah. And they have been.
And they are. And they have to be like, oh, we're just concerned. But like, I just love Data being like, so I've noticed something. It's mainly that y'all are being weird.
Yeah. But it's like, I will say sometimes Data is a little like, he gets to be like perceptive up to a point always. And to me, one problem with the writing of Data is that point moves a little bit. Like sometimes he just gets it. So, whatever the scene dramatically needs, he'll just come in and like, he'll play it like he doesn't get it, but then he'll like logically slip through like all the pieces of the emotion. And then sometimes he'll hit a wall. And maybe I just haven't seen enough or thought enough about it. But that sometimes is a little like, how much do you know, man?
I love the ending of the scene where Riker's just like, he uses Data's own quote to be our pathways have become accustomed to it.
Yeah, they're really, it's a very sweet scene. But yeah, ultimately, this is just a character moment. It's just like, Data's like, are you talking shit? Riker's like, hems and haws, because Riker needs to go to therapy. And Troy sets them all straight, and then they're all nice to each other. Very sweet. They get to the other planet. Picard comes to the bridge. There's no signs of life on the planet, but there's a temporal distortion. I wrote down disturbance, but I think it's temporal distortion almost always in track.
Oh, what's the difference between distortion and a disturbance?
I think I might have just written it down wrong.
Wait, let me look.
We're gonna look. Okay. Well, I'll continue.
No, in the summary it says temporal disturbance.
Okay, disturbance. They do say distortion a lot later. I'm generally apt to believe that I've taken notes wrong. Anyway, there's a high level of the triolic waves that we're looking for. They start, and this is just one of those moments. Picard's like, okay, let's get an away team, and he very makes a not a big he doesn't do a good job of hiding the fact that he's not letting Data go on the away team. Data's pissed. He wants to talk in Picard's office. Data thinks he's keeping him off the team is irrational. Data, but then this is where Data all of a sudden is like very wise. He's like, you can't cheat fate. And Picard has a line that I didn't quite write down, but it's like, but I'm going to try.
I think everybody's doing a bad job of keeping this from him. It's almost like they all are underestimating his emotional intelligence as well. Because everyone's kind of talking shit and sneaking around and acting like, oh yeah, you're not going on the trip. Like everyone's sort of treating him like a child. It feels like the crew sometimes forgets that he's a supercomputer.
Yeah. But maybe that's it too. It's a little just like, come on, guys. Obviously, Data knows this.
He's gonna figure out what you're doing. Yeah.
Because it's just like, Data, like Picard could also just, all right, there's no need to nitpick. Anyway, Picard didn't want to send him down, They're on the planet. There's a lot of triolic waves. They're in what I wrote down, a very cinematic cave.
It is a cinematic cave. It's vibes in there.
LaForge calls up that they need to run a scan, and Troy finds a hot spring sort of nearby and has like an empath freak out. There's dozens of human lives in here. End Act 1. Act 2, we're still in the cave. Riker calls up to the ship. Troy thinks these things. I don't really get how Troy's empathy powers work exactly, but she's like, I think these are human. Data reports his scans detect, quote, synchronic distortion in the areas emanating triolic waves. Okay. People are here, but out of temporal phase. They need some equipment that's only contained in Data's head. Which is
gotta get him down there. He wasn't allowed to go, but we gotta get him there.
They do kind of get past this hurdle immediately. It's like, oh, we tried, but anyway. So we're here in the cave. People, let's see. So Data figures out that he's going to phase out of time, but should be able to talk to them via his comm badge. Which I'm going to say this: I know they use it. They don't use it nearly enough. This should be a thing that is in way more of this episode. But he phases out. They can't see him anymore, but he starts talking. So he's out of time phase with them, but he can talk to them. It's a one-way thing. And this is a part where he's like describing there's a bunch of people here. There's a space leech. They're eating some energy that it's coming out of stuff. And the way that the lines are delivered a little bit, it sounds a little tiny bit like a kid pulling a prank. There's kind of like a and then quality to his speech. That I was like, this is out of character for Data, but I kind of want him to phase back in and just be like, surprise, I was making that shit up.
Just kidding, nothing happened. Yeah.
I thought it was an artful way, again, on a TV budget, to have a lot of plot move that would have been expensive to see literally radioed in. I was like, oh my God, they got away with this so much in old Trek. Literally just cutting to Picard sitting on the bridge or the away team standing in that cinematic cavern. They're like, we paid for this cavern. We got to use the cavern. Yeah. And just hearing Brent Spiner report back to them what he sees going on. And that is the whole scene. Yeah. I was like, that's genius. I love that they got away with that.
Right, because ultimately they end up only having to hire 2 actors to play the whatever the hell aliens. I do have a question later on in episode 2 about that. So they say Ophidians. They also say, I forget the name of the planet, but also at the end of, just a spoiler alert, at the end...
Oh no, the Ophidians are crazy snakes. Sorry.
At the end of part 2, Riker just calls them the aliens, which stuck out to me because I'm like, they never call anyone aliens. Everyone's named by their planet. And
that stuck out to me too. They call them aliens a lot in part 2, and I think they only do that when they don't know where they're from.
Well, here was my other thing, and this is, I guess, just fully spoiler alert for part 2. Did they not bother or shy away or start to pull away from naming them once they sort of figured out that Enterprise is going to kill all these fuckers?
Oh, that's a good question.
I kind of wondered. I was like, are we trying to humanize or slightly dehumanize the ones that we're going to kill? And, in a sort of, in a Prime Directive way, justifiably kill. However, we gonna genocide these fuckers.
That's a good question and would be smart if that's what, I don't know, and that would be smart if that's what they did. Because it is rare that they gotta just wipe some beings out. Again, justified, but
it's notable. It's notable that he starts calling them the aliens rather than naming their planet, which I was just like, they never do that in Trek. Okay. I feel like there's a reason.
Yeah, because even when they don't know where something's from or what it is, they call it like the life form, the being, the creature.
Yeah.
It is weird to hear the aliens, because as I'm hearing Deanna say the aliens, I'm like, bitch, you an alien too.
Yeah.
All y'all are aliens.
Okay. Where the hell are we? Okay, anyway. Yes, so the way the lines got delivered, it did a little bit sound like Data was just a kid making shit up, which I found very charming, even though that's not what happened. He keeps walking. There's an Ophidian in a force field. There's distortion. Data gets sucked through time, obviously. Data's gone, and he wakes up in 19th century San Francisco. I don't know why I wrote down howdy partner. I don't think anyone says that, but it was very howdy partner vibes.
Yeah, it was howdy partner energy for sure.
And Act 2, as we open Act 3, Data asks people for help. They make fun of him and they make a comment that winds up becoming sort of a runner that he's French, which I just don't understand.
I think I had to think back because I'm like,
what about him seemed French? Because this isn't like that really unfortunate moment in City on the Edge of Forever when Kirk just labels Spock Chinese to answer for why he seems different. Like, there's nothing about Data that looks inherently French. So I just had to think, like, is it just the 90s thinking anyone dressed strange and speaking strange? Were we just calling people French?
I'm just coming up with this now, so this is a guess. Was it a mime joke? Is he supposed to be?
Oh my God.
Is that possible?
Maybe, because he does kind of look like a mime.
Like, if you just described him without seeing him, it's like he's got a white face and he's wearing like a skin-tight suit. You're like, I don't know, I guess it could be a mime.
Moves in these stilted, frozen movements.
I'm not like 100% by that guess, but that's my guess. I think maybe it was a mime joke.
I like that guess.
I don't know.
I like that guess. He looks confused by it too.
It's a weird bit. I did write down, I don't think there's nearly enough Chinese people playing background extras for 18th century San Francisco, but...
Yeah, actually, there's a lot of like racial dynamic things in this episode that are not addressed at all. Namely, Guinan just existing as she exists in a way that I found interesting, because Trek has obviously dealt with actual like racial issues in the actual Earth past, and then sometimes they just don't. And this is a pretty glaring example of them just not dealing with it.
Right.
It's interesting.
Yeah, right. And the same with Geordi. Like, you're just
they just get to be in the story.
Being black in the past is fine sometimes, or not.
Yeah,
it's always fine, but like, it's not an issue that you even need to talk about sometimes.
Right.
Anyway, Data gets hit up by a panhandler and gets
a 49er
exposition. Yeah, is that a different thing? What is that?
No, it's just their like official term. It's just the guys that all came out to California to I guess it's not panhandling, it's panning for gold. So it's different than he is panhandling, but
got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, mainly he meets a civilian who we get all the exposition pretty much gets filled in. And then he meets a bellboy at a hotel. He asks for lodging. He's like, oh, I don't have money, but I have, but maybe I could get a job. This is where I come in. He then hears there's a poker game. So he goes.
I knew Andrew's ears were going to perk up at this moment.
Data
just like Data cocks his head and goes, poker?
So he tries to get in the game. They once again go in on this French bit, which I'm like, we're just living with. He wagers his comm badge as a start, which this is a crazy era of poker, where it was just like, there's no such thing as table stakes. It's just kind of like whatever you got.
Yeah, whatever you got.
Can always be added to the pot, which is insane. That's fine. Anyway, he wagers his comm badge. Quickly cut to Data just won everything. He's got tons of money, hilarious plot.
This is how I picture when you describe your trips to those terrible pokers in weird neighborhoods in LA.
Yeah.
I picture you just walking in and then just walking out with everyone's money like a jump cut.
Yeah, it's not like that. It's really tedious in between. But also, I presume Data just cheated because it was, or like at least could cheat, because this is the type of poker where you deal when you're the dealer. And we have seen him. We do cut in on a close shot of him dealing the cards in a very fast, hilarious way.
I don't think he cheats. So up to this point, a lot has been made of him learning to play poker really precisely, but him still misunderstanding human tells and bluffing and things like that. So I think the idea is that he's playing earnestly because they've made a big deal out of him learning to play
I guess what I mean is he could cheat. Like if he was just like, I'm so sorry, but I just need money so I can continue my mission. He also could cheat. I'm just saying. Not important, just where my mind went. Doesn't matter. Okay, cut to Data won everything. He has an amazing hat on. We do a weird bit with the bellhop where he takes him several beats to realize he needs to tip. The bellhop offers him, it sounds like the services of a sex worker, which is just very I just didn't expect it. But Data doesn't
they're
need
just like, the Old West. You know what I mean?
Data doesn't need any of that. He needs supplies. He gives the bellhop a list. I guess, spoiler alert, the bellhop winds up being very significant later.
I love that moment. I love it so much because it's like you get Mark Twain,
crazy,
but then they just throw in a sprinkling of Jack London.
It's so insane. Anyway, yeah, spoiler alert: the bellhop is straight up Jack London.
Which was Jack London ever a bellhop?
Who the fuck knows? It's so weird.
I gotta know.
I can't look at but. Like, is it like a part of the Jack London lore that he met Mark Twain and got advice from him? Because the way it's played, it seems like it must be.
He was not a bellhop, but he did work a lot of low-wage labor jobs. I think it was just pulling from that.
Okay, I'm just going to search, did Jack London meet Mark
Oh, good question.
Twain?
In a causal time loop. Add that part.
Well, records don't indicate a confirmed meeting, the possibility. Okay, who knows?
Who knows?
That's fine. Okay, I just, like, the way they played it, I was like, oh, is this like just like a thing that they know and Trek just like took advantage? It's because it's played so insanely that I'm just like, is this a thing? Is this some shit I'm supposed to know? Okay.
No, it's made up.
Anyway, bellhop needs supply, or Data needs supplies, gives the bellhop a list. The 49ers are struggling. And then he
does
sees
the classic bit of gives him way too much money.
Because he doesn't care.
Because future Android either doesn't know what appropriate things cost at that time, probably more likely he does not care, and he's like, keep the change, kid.
Yeah, keep the change. He gives Jack London, Call of the Wild, a bunch of money. Anyway, cut to just a little scene of the 49er is a struggling, and he sees two tall, silent, well-dressed weirdos who fucking zap his ass.
What I hope my boyfriend and I are called anytime we walk into any room.
That is, you guys are not like
silent,
stern enough. Yeah. Tell me about it. Okay, we're in Act 4. We're back on the Enterprise. They still haven't found Data, but classic Act 4. We're in a conference room arguing about what to do. They figured out that the aliens have been going to 19th century Earth. Picard asked Geordi to find a way to communicate with them or maybe make a field to surround everyone. I kind of tuned out on the specifics. Basically, Geordi, can you figure out how to get us into the time phase with Data? Yeah. There's a little aside at the end of this meeting where Worf pulls Riker aside and is like, hey, maybe we all die in that cave. Just because... This was a long time ago.
I love Goth Worf. This is so... Because, like, no one's thinking about this. Everyone's just like, let's go save our friend. Let's go figure it out. And he's like, hey, did you guys ever think about what if we're actually dead and dust and our bones turned to dust in there? And the crows picked at our bones and they turned to dust. And everyone's like, damn, Worf.
Jesus, dude.
No, we didn't think about that.
Yeah, it's because he's basically like, just because Data's head is in there doesn't mean no one else could have died in there too. It's like,
yeah, his head would be the only thing you'd find. The rest of us would be dust. You guys ever think about that?
Which I also don't really think is totally true, but that's fine. It's 500 years. It's not 5 million years. Their bones would still be in their Worf. That's what Riker should have actually'd him and been like, no, there'd still be some evidence of us.
I think Worf just really wanted everyone to think about their bones turning to dust. He's like, I just need everybody to ruminate on this for a while.
We're back at the bar. Guinan is doing her most Andrew energy I've ever personally seen, where she's making an insane drink that involves...
This is you making shrimp cocktail instead of just buying the $50 Costco shrimp cocktail.
Yeah. It was, she's making a drink that you need to calibrate it to just... the vapor point to just below the drinker's body temperature so that it instantly vaporizes as soon as it goes in their mouth. Great. Just great stuff. She's crazy. I will just say this, although she's describing a very complicated thing, at her heart, Guinan is describing vaping, and
The Zartax or whatever invented vaping.
Yeah, like I'm not saying it's not. It would obviously be unbelievably impressive to do it in a cocktail served in a glass that doesn't have any mechanical or other components. However, the upshot of having this drink is basically vaping.
You get to vape your cocktail. Don't you want to smoke your margarita, everybody?
Let's go to
Don't you
Temporal.
want to huff your Aperol Spritz?
Well, I will say, actually, because I feel like people have experimented with vaporized alcohol, and it's very dangerous, if I remember correctly.
Sure.
Be careful with that shit. Don't huff alcohol.
Hey, listeners, we care about you. Don't try to make your disappearing Sartak aperitif at home, okay?
The scene does not end with Picard having one, which...
No. She said, "This is not for you."
It's so crazy. Because I was also kind of thinking, like, because she talks about, it's like key to each person. And I was like, okay, Guinan knows shit from all over time. I genuinely thought she was going to be like, oh, here's your drink. And he's like, I didn't order a drink. And she's like, but you're about to, or whatever. Like, I genuinely thought that's what was going to happen. But I think with a 90s TV budget, creating a liquid even on screen that instantly turns to vapor when Picard touches it. Also, if you hold the glass, it would start to vaporize. I don't know if that drink works.
Yeah,
anyway.
It just turned to vapor when she was done with it. I wonder if that was a budgetary change. Like, they couldn't have him drink it, so they're like, it just has to turn to vapor on the counter. And Joe Manoski's probably like, that's not what I wrote.
But she's basically like, Picard, you got to go on this away mission, but I can't tell you why. And this is where I wrote, I think Guinan's psychic or something, which, good enough. She tells Picard if he doesn't go on this away mission, they'll never meet. We're back in olden times. Data's using his phaser to make a contraption. I still have issues with the number of, I know it's just like a different context, but the number of times Star Trek uses their gun as basically a screwdriver is not a thing that I like, but that's fine. Back in olden times, he's using his phaser to make a contraption. He's got an anvil from the bellhop. He talks through the contraption. Also, the bellhop definitely says "Make America Great Again," which was not their fault, but hit my ear pretty weird. Bellhop's bragging, talking shit. Data's a little credulous about it, but I guess maybe it's fine because the bellhop was Jack London, it turns out. Anyway, the bellhop gives him a newspaper, and on the newspaper, Data
gives him a croissant.
Oh,
he's like, I went to the bakery and I got you a croissant, and it's just wrapped in a newspaper because that's what they wrap shit in for the bakery back then. And he gives it to him, and there's a very funny moment where Data holds up the croissant like it's a foreign object because he doesn't eat, and sets it down, and then he looks at the newspaper.
Oh my god. Okay, I think I was taking notes. Okay, he sees Guinan in the newspaper. She's gonna have a quote. I think a literary reception is what the newspaper says tomorrow, which is weird. It would be funny if he walked in and on his old friend was like, I didn't know you wrote. But we end Act 4 off this revelation that Guinan is back in old-timey San Francisco. Act 5.
Pretty great Act 4 blow because, like, as you're watching the series, you don't know. There's been nothing hinted that Guinan was on Earth back at this time. So she is known to be this mysterious Q-like alien who experiences time in a weird way. She has powers that people aren't quite sure about. She has helped Picard out of a bunch of different pickles that nobody else had the information about. She also has been like weirdly familiar with Picard, and it hasn't been answered why until now. And he's been weirdly familiar with her, but he's not sure why until now. So to like see her on Earth like that, when you're watching the whole thing in context, it's a pretty cool Act 4 blow to be like, whoa, she's there. And I think the audience, like Data, assumes, oh, she'll remember me. She'll know. She must have come back here. Let's go find her.
Yeah. Got it. Okay. I kind of, because I guess when she's like in the previous scene, like, you got to go back so we can meet. I guess maybe there was a little element. I guess I maybe was like, no, I know that she's in the past or from the past, but maybe not. Maybe I don't know, Guinan. That's I think the upside. Anyway, so we're in Act 5. Data's at the literary reception. Mark Twain is here, so that's crazy. Was the actor who plays Mark Twain someone notable?
I don't.
It felt very 90s guest star.
So? know. Let me look him up.
I feel like we wouldn't maybe know, but he's
Jerry Hardin.
I don't know. He's in a ton of this in the next episode. And it is just...
He's done a couple other treks, another Next Generation and a Voyager episode. He was an attorney in Big Trouble in Little China. Maybe you've seen him in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if that is I don't remember that role. Point is, he's doing like a good 90s Mark Twain.
Sorry, I just read this. He's Deep Throat in the X-Files. Holy shit.
Oh, wow.
Holy shit.
They did a ton of
the X-Files.
They did a ton of makeup on him then to do, which I mean, it is like a Mark Twain ass looking thing. It is a little though, the like popular, it's like the children's version of Mark Twain. Mm-hmm. But anyway, he's just there sort of talking shit. He's like there's another guy who I didn't write down who thinks that Earth is the only planet that can support life in the
Russell
universe.
Wallace.
Which I guess is like a thing. Guinan's talking shit. They're basically just like drunk and doing like first year philosophy. This is like a dorm room talk.
Well, this was back in the day of salons when intellectuals, this is what everyone would gather to do, is watch the intellectuals. Like, could you imagine getting a ticket to see Guinan, the famous new author, and Samuel Clemens debate theories of whether Earth is the only inhabitable planet? It's like, this is what people had instead of Twitter or TV.
Well, this is like if you could pay to get someone's group chat leaked.
Yeah. And kind of a TED Talk, but everyone has a mint julep in their hand.
Yeah. Drunk TED Talks.
Yeah.
Data just kind of blows past the door guy and tells Guinan in front of everyone that he knows her from a starship.
Yeah, smooth.
Which is insane.
Real smooth.
But she's like, pulls him outside. He explains what's up, that he's from the future.
I thought this was interesting. This tells you a lot about Guinan, because at first she doesn't immediately cover. At first she's like, I know you from where? And he's like, a ship. And she's like, a steamship? I do travel a lot. And he's like, no, a starship. And that immediately makes her go, oh, fuck. Like, this is some timey-wimey shit. I know I'm a weird being. They don't know that. Okay, we got to get out of here. So she doesn't know. She doesn't like have the memories because she hasn't experienced it yet. Yeah. But she knows what's possible.
But Data being like a starship is crazy, man.
Yeah, he's putting her on Front Street.
Like, at least lower your voice a little bit. Anyway, so she pulls him outside. He explains what's up. He's from the future. Didn't realize she was past Guinan. And then, I guess not at all surprisingly, Mark Twain has been eavesdropping the whole time.
He's a snoop.
He does a little villain reveal. Back on the ship, he's not a villain in this, but he does a villain reveal. Back on the ship, Picard's logging away about the away team going to phase shift. They're getting set up. Picard comes down. He sends Worf back to the bridge, which also makes sense because it's like, you're pretty sure you're going to past Earth, or at least if you anywhere, and like, you can't send Worf to the goddamn Wild West.
No.
Anyway.
Especially not given what Mark Twain calls him later in one of my favorite moments in part 2.
Yeah.
He just turns and sees Worf and he goes, ugh, a werewolf.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, so Picard...
Also a thing that doesn't exist.
I'm kind of loving the Mark Twain of it, I have to say.
I love Mark Twain. He's so goofy.
It's pretty awesome. So the team is phase shifting. We are finally seeing all the crazy shit that Data was talking about, although with less movement and notably fewer actors than Data described. I just wrote, it's fucking gross. Oh, this is the little leech thing. It's gross. Now Troy is like, there is no life here. Touches like a rock that's like a blacklight rave rock, and she says there's an echo of human life, but everything in this rave died in terror.
Bum, bum, bum.
And we're near the end. A couple of large ghost guys come and use a suction pack to do a reverse Ghostbusters with some human souls, and they go back through the glowing portal. There's a space snake. I wrote, I love the space snake. I fucking love the space snake.
I love the space snake. It looks so crazy.
It's so
and kind of scary, but also just amazing.
It's like if it could say like ha cha cha cha, it would.
Yeah. It needs to say like, "Here's Johnny" or something.
Yeah.
Like it needs to be like, "Ah,"
or like
gotcha.
smoke a
It needs
little
a
cigarette.
catchphrase.
Yes, yeah. Every time we see it, it's like going ha.
Ah, gotcha. Don't get too close.
And our team go into the portal. Dun dun dun. End of a season of television.
End of an incredible, like season 5. This shit's getting so good, and they end like that. When I told Andrew we were watching this episode, I swore part 1 and 2 were the penultimate and ultimate episodes of season 5. I did not remember that part 2 is the season 6 opener. That is crazy.
Shot it back to back. You can't get.
I think they had to.
You can't book Whoopi fucking 5 months apart.
No, I think they had to have shot it together and then just divided it up because they were psychotic back then.
Yeah.
But good Lord, what a wild way to end a season.
Yeah, truly. Because it's also like as you said, story-wise, like this doesn't even remotely stand on its own.
No, it's just setup. It's just setup and character, which is part of why I love it. I love part 1 and 2, but then it just allows part 2 to like run. I love it.
It's very weird because like the 1 and 2 parters, I think we've watched over at least in my survey of Trek, like they kind of get less and less like, oh, this could be a standalone episode of TV. Yeah. These don't even pretend. If you just watched the part 2, as in you're like, oh, Star Trek's back. Oh, watch the season premiere. I cannot imagine you understand. Because you walk in, imagine someone missed part 1, but it's like, hey, oh my God, they're advertising brand new season of Star Trek. Get ready.
Let me see what my cousin's been talking about.
Twain is the first thing you see, which is, sorry, spoiler alert for our next episode, but the first fucking thing you see is Mark Twain.
Yeah.
What? That is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder if through doing this show, I think what you think are outliers, I think you're going to start to see are the norm.
It's just show. This is show. Okay.
This is the show.
Okay. All right. Anyway, that thus ends Time Zero, episode 5, whatever, 27, I think.
26. Yeah. We're not going to rate it because there's nothing to rate. It's not an episode. It's gearing us up for the rest of itself. We're gonna rate it.
I'm rating it 5 glowy tall guys. I fucking love this episode.
Okay, fine. I'll rate it 5 hissing ghost snakes.
Oh wait, no, 5 just bizarre. I hope the actor that played Mark Twain didn't have to eat too many real oysters on set that day.
Oh God,
so insane.
That was a lot of I hope that too.
Okay,
dope.
But yeah,
thank you all for listening.
I'm loving this. Come back next week for part 2.
More Guinan to come.
More Guinan.
Thanks you all. Thanks for subscribing and listening. We love doing this. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
This is suboptimal.
Starter Trek is produced by Jesse Earl, edited by AJ McKeon, with original music by Jay Israelson. For bonus episodes like Andrew and Tawny's Hangout Show, Yo Can We Live, movie watch-alongs, and even more Trek pods, visit suboptimalpods.com. It's the optimal place to subscribe to Andrew and Tawny's podcasts. This podcast is a production of Fine Alpinist Ranch, an artist-run film and media studio building community in the desert. To learn more or become one of our ranch hands, visit finealpinistranch.com.